Best Lead Actor and Best Supporting Actor, or Best Lead Actress and Best Supporting Actress. And the designations should be clear. A lead Oscar goes to someone who has a lead role in a movie or is the primary focus of the film, while the supporting category is designated for actors who are in roles that, while important to the movie, really are supporting. They come in, they do their thing, they enhance the movie, but they are not the primary focus of the film. And there's a lot of debate every year about what constitutes as lead and supporting. In many cases, the designation is pretty obvious, but because companies can campaign for whatever category they want, basically the companies choose whether or not to run and campaign their actors and actresses in lead or supporting categories. This is sometimes known as category fraud, where a lead actor gets pushed into a supporting role. But sometimes the supporting role can also be pushed into the lead category. Now, category fraud has become much more common in the recent years. However, with all the category fraud going on, this really got me thinking to Oscars of olden days, where if we had the Oscar marketing campaign that we did today, thanks to Harvey Weinstein and other Oscar marketing firms, would some of these Oscar-nominated and winning roles have won or been nominated in lead, or would they have actually placed them in the supporting categories? And that's what this list is. These are 10 winning or nominated Oscar nominations for Best Lead Actor that, if I believe had been run today, might have actually been considered for the supporting categories. Now, this doesn't mean anything, and I'm, by the way, not even saying that these people should not have been nominated for the lead acting Oscar or even won the lead acting Oscar. A couple of my choices on this list totally deserve to win Oscars for their performances. This is just a little bit of a thought experiment, because considering how many lead performances are being shoved more and more into the supporting category, are there roles in the past that would do the same if ran today? And that's the whole thought of this thought experiment. It's completely fun, and it's not meant to be taken too seriously, so let's just jump in and talk about it. And the first one that I would probably wonder would be run in supporting category today would be Tom Hulce for Amadeus. Now, make no mistake, I believe that Tom Hulce is a lead in this movie. I believe he was right to be nominated for lead actor in this category, along with his co-star F. Murray Abraham, who ultimately won the Oscar for playing Salieri. But I bet you if Amadeus was released today and a marketer campaign basically didn't want to cannibalize their actors' chances of winning Oscars, I could see Tom Hulce getting into the supporting category by just a hair, even though there are so many more arguments to be made for him being in lead. First of all, he is playing the title character of the movie. He has just as much screen time as Salieri. But what might have pushed him into the supporting category today is the fact that it takes him about 10 minutes to show up. He leaves 10 minutes early, and, well, F. Abraham Murray is playing a character in 2 time periods, not just 1. So, I think that might have given a marketer a chance to push him into the supporting category and just call it a day. The 9th person I would put on this list is Robert De Niro for Awakenings. Now, this is another tricky one, because while it is true that Robert De Niro's character is in pretty much the movie from beginning to end, the other thing that should be taken into account is that he's kind of in a comatose state for a good portion of the movie, basically being frozen in time and stuck in a way where he cannot move or communicate with the people around him. And I think that little distinction might have caused a publicist to push him into the supporting category had the movie come out later, because while he is in the movie for pretty much the whole thing, he is only interacting with people about 75% of the time, and I think a publicist might wisely consider that to be a supporting performance rather than a lead performance. So I believe that Robert De Niro's Awakenings Best Actor nomination would be supporting had it been run today. My 8th pick for an actor that would probably be run in supporting today might be a strange one, but hear me out. I would consider Clark Gable from Gone with the Wind to be more of a supporting character had the race been run today. Now hear me out. Rhett Butler is clearly a lead character in this movie. I do not deny that, and that's why I believe his lead actor nomination is warranted. But keep in mind, I'm doing this as a thought experiment from a publicist's point of view, not from a fan's point of view. And when you look at it from a publicist's point of view, there's a very strong case for Clark Gable to be run as a supporting actor as opposed to a lead actor. While he is very clearly the lead male actor, you have to keep in mind that he shows up late in the movie and disappears for large portions of the film. Unlike Scarlett O'Hara, Vivian Lee's character, who is pretty much in every single frame, Gone with the Wind can sometimes go 10, 20, and even 30 minutes without seeing our lead man. I think under those circumstances, even though Clark Gable is in probably, I would say, 80% of the movie, that might be enough for if a publicist were to run the Oscar campaign today, they would probably put Clark Gable as Best Supporting Actor as opposed to Best Actor. Another actor that might surprise you on our number 7 pick is Forest Whitaker for The Last King of Scotland. And I just want to state up front that Forest Whitaker absolutely deserved to win this award. Even if the movie has not held up as well as some other movies, his performance is absolutely magnificent. But you have to keep in mind that even though he is playing the ruthless dictator in the movie, the film's narrative and point of view comes from the James McAvoy character. As a result, Forest Whitaker does not show up for almost 20 minutes of the movie, and even when he does show up, he disappears for certain stretches of time, whereas James McAvoy is front and center every single shot pretty much. So while I believe this is a deserved win, I kind of wonder that if a publicist were running the Oscar campaign today, would they run him lead? Probably not. They'd probably run Whitaker in the supporting category. My number 6 choice is an interesting one because unlike other names on this list, this one was actually considered to be running for a supporting actor Oscar, not the lead, until some disagreements caused them to change it. And that is Peter Finch for Network. When they were submitting their request for who to nominate, they figured William Holden was the lead actor and that Peter Finch was a supporting character. Peter Finch denied this venomously, and he fought hard to win Best Actor. Winning Best Actor became his obsession because he felt that that character was not a supporting character. He was a lead performance, and winning Best Actor became an obsession. Now, unfortunately, he passed away before the Oscars were aired, but he ultimately did win the Best Actor award, becoming the first posthumous winner in the acting categories, and it's a memorable performance. But I bet you that if the film had been released today, I don't think the publicists would have caved to his demands. I think they would have ran him in the supporting category because William Holden probably would have also won Best Actor, which, given the other acting wins, Network could have very easily been the first film to have won acting categories in all 4, or I should say acting Oscars in all 4 categories. My 5th pick is one that I actually think a lot of people don't think of as a leading performance, and so it's even kind of in hindsight questionable why this was nominated for Best Actor, but it's Robin Williams in The Fisher King. And look, Robin Williams plays a very important character, basically a homeless man who was traumatized by a shooting that took his family, and it's a very good performance. But here's the thing. Jeff Bridges' character is the lead character. Robin Williams doesn't even show up for almost a half hour in the movie, and even then is only there sporadically. So it's actually kind of strange when you stop and think about that this is a Best Actor nominated acting award, because it really is supporting in every way that you look at it. And had the movie been released today, they absolutely would have run it as a supporting actor instead of a lead actor. Now, my number 4 pick has actually been debated for a long time whether or not it's lead or supporting, and I don't expect me to really give any new insights on this matter, but it's Marlon Brando for The Godfather, one of his absolute best performances, totally deserved to win, but as has been pointed out by many before and many afterwards, he is in a significantly less amount of screen time of the movie than Al Pacino, who actually got a supporting actor nomination. We might talk about that in another top 10 video. And it's one of those things where I would debate, as well as many people, that the reason Brando was lead is because his character's presence is felt throughout the entire movie, even when he's not on screen. When you think that he might be dying or dead, the movie is missing him. And so I can understand why this was run as lead, but I bet you that if the movie had been released today, that position would have been reversed. I believe that Brando would have been nominated and won for supporting, whereas Al Pacino would have been nominated and probably won for lead actor. My number 3 pick on this list is a movie you might not have heard of, but if you haven't heard of it, I highly recommend you seek it out. It's Maximilian Shell for Judgment at Nuremberg. Now, this is about the Nuremberg trials, and this is a star-studded cast. It actually had multiple acting nominations, not only in the lead, but in the supporting categories as well. Now, Spencer Tracy was also nominated for lead actor for this movie, which makes sense since he is the presiding judge over the Nuremberg trials and therefore has the most screen time. But the other Best Actor nominee and ultimate winner of this award this year was Maximilian Shell, who played one of the lawyers. And it's interesting that it's a lead. I mean, I think even IMDb states that this is a rare case where the 5th person's name on the poster, not the 1st or the 2nd or 3rd, the 5th person's name on the poster actually won the Academy Award for Best Actor. And the fact that he's listed at number 5 shows that it really was a supporting character who happened to have more screen time than other supporting characters in that movie. But for some reason, they ran it in lead, and he won. Congratulations to him for winning. I bet you had that movie been released today, Tracy's would have been the sole lead actor nomination, and everyone else would have just been supporting, including Shell. My number 2 pick is one that definitely has been debated for a long time. It's Anthony Hopkins in The Silence of the Lambs. This role only takes up 16 minutes of screen time. I have no doubt that had this been released today, it would be in the supporting category, not the lead category. The only reason I believe Hopkins was even nominated for Best Actor is because it's one of those situations where even when his character is not on screen, you feel his presence, so you think he's in more of the movie than he actually is, but in reality, it's a very small amount of screen time. It's one of the best performances to ever win an Oscar, so I'm not complaining. Again, this is just a thought experiment, but I bet you had Silence of the Lambs been released exactly the same way it is now, today, Anthony Hopkins would be running supporting and lead would be completely off the table. And then my number 1 pick is actually one of the core examples of a lead actor running and winning Best Supporting Actor. It's David Niven for Separate Tables. As the general who has a, or colonel I think it was, who has a dark secret to hide, David Niven is only in about 17 minutes of this movie. It is a very, very short performance to win lead actor, but again, like Silence of the Lambs and Amadeus and Gone with the Wind and all that stuff, his character is the lead character. The movie is about him. It's about the secret, how people in the hotel react to the news of this secret. So his character in some way is there even when he's not on screen, but Niven is really not in the movie much at all. I think he's in 2, maybe 3 scenes, one of them being the pivotal scene near the end of the movie, which I'm not going to spoil for you. But I think that had Separate Tables been released today, then Niven would have been Best Supporting Actor, no questions asked. He's in way too little of the movie personally to be considered a lead, but again, his character is in a strange way the main star, so that might be what happened. And those are 10 Oscar-nominated and winning roles for Best Actor that I think had the campaigns run later in Hollywood's lifetime and maybe closer to today, probably would have been considered for supporting actor. Are there any performances you think that were nominated and or won Best Actor that probably should have or would have been considered supporting today? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and yeah, also let me know, are there any other top 10 Oscar lists you'd like me to consider making? Let me know. I'm looking for ideas. I kind of like talking about the Oscars. And flame responsibly. Have a good one.